This is the appointment subcommittee, 5:30 PM on February 19, 2020. I noticed that you did a nice job with the minutes, but we need to review those. I apologize.
We can do it next.
We can do it next time.
Yeah.
That's fine. If somebody else requests them, they'll be available. We have several appointments and a great attendance today, so thank you so much for all being here. I'm J.P. Krasinski. This is Councilor Gomez, as you well know. And we have a special guest, Barbara LeBombard, is here to speak.
Well, I wanted to
So
speak
that's
on
great.
the charity funds.
On the charity fund, so
I can explain
I
a
would
little bit
like
about that.
you to do so because I had some questions about that.
So, the Charity Funds Committee was set up many moons ago. I mean, we're talking a long time ago, to distribute the income from 4 wills that were left to the city. There's Whiting Street, Jerome, and let's see, Sarah Balch. Well, anyway, there's 4 funds that were left, 4 wills.
They include the folks on Florence Road?
Well, okay, so there's
a
the
will.
Sarah Balch Wells, the Whiting Street, which is not a street, that was his name, Jerome and Margaret Lyman, and there's one other, can't think what the other one was. Anyway, they were left through wills, and the people wanted the money to be used for, this is their words, the worthy poor of the town. So over the years, the income was distributed by a committee, and the committee usually involved somebody in my office plus a committee. So it was always that people would call if they needed money, and that it used to be that I would contact the members of the committee and they would say yes, and so we did it like that. And at Christmas time we would give a small amount of money to a group of people, depending on the members and who they felt deserved money. So we've been doing this for years and years, and gradually it got down to, it was just myself and Karen. And Karen came off, other members have gotten older, they passed away, but we had a policy of a certain amount of money per year, only once per calendar year could a person request. If they came in today, they'd have to wait until next February 19th before they could come in. And so that's how it's been. And it just got down to the point where it was just me. And I felt like I wanted to stop the over-the-counter. We would do food vouchers, help with rent and utility, and there were instances where I didn't think that it was being used properly.
That's a hard decision. It's an imposing decision for only one person.
Right. So basically, if anybody came in and they hadn't been in a year, we would give them a $50 food voucher to Biggie's or something like that. And I could see what they bought, and I didn't really think that some people were spending it the way that it was meant to be. So my idea was that we would start to, instead of giving it to individual people, that we would give it to organizations like the Helping Hand Society, the Community Center, the Congregational Church, Food Pantry, places in town that, take and eat, things like that, for them to use for people who are deserving. Nicole felt like it should really be just my decision alone, that we should probably try to get the committee going again. And so I tried to reach out to people, and I know Eileen through Helping Hand and also through the Council on Aging, and the other person on the list, Gail Cannon, I also know through Helping Hand and through the school department. I would like to get a few more people that maybe touch on other parts of the community, and then maybe once or twice a year we would meet and we would see how much money we had, and then we would decide who we would write checks to.
So you're distributing the interest on the funds that were left.
Yeah. There's another fund, the Patrick Flynn account, that's out of the mayor's office, and Karen, that's what she and Mike before her, instead of giving to people, they would actually give money to us, and they would give to the community center. Rather than give it to individuals, they would give to other organizations so that they could distribute it. So what we're trying to do is reinvigorate the committee, get some new blood.
So for these funds, anyone can apply for it?
Anybody can apply. I mean,
as long as you're worthy and you declare yourself to be poor.
Oh, I mean, we're not going to be giving to individuals anymore. We would give to organizations.
And any organization?
Well,
or they have to be
Easthampton.
Easthampton ones?
Easthampton
Easthampton.
organizations
Okay.
that
Serve the,
Yeah, I know.
serve the.
Just to be clear with the public there watching us.
may I ask how much was distributed approximately in a given year? I don't know.
I have
You probably don't have that on the top of your head, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Are we talking
mean-
on the order of hundreds or thousands of
Oh,
dollars?
I'm gonna say,
Tens of dollars?
we've gotten it down to $50 per person once a year, and I'm gonna say probably under 1,000.
Under 1,000, now, close to 1,000. But
The
that's a
interest has
significant,
gone down.
right, but that's
Yeah.
still,
I wouldn't even say it. Most of the things we do are the Big East food
right,
vouchers.
and it's there to help people. So this is good. I'm so glad that.
But sometimes if something was bigger, we'd refer people to Helping Hand or to other places.
Right.
But, so, I recruited Eileen.
Recruiting, so
And I
this is a
recruited
strong recommendation.
Gail, yeah, knowing that they worked with populations that, and I know them through Helping Hand, and that's kind of what we do in that group too, so.
Is there anything you'd care to add about
No,
the subject?
well, when I spoke with Barbara about it, it seemed very interesting, and I enjoy doing a lot of charity work
Mhm.
right now, even though I am working again,
Yeah.
regular working. But I feel as though at this point in my life, I really like giving back to the community
Sure.
more than anything. And I do also feel as though it would be nice to see some structure to it and maybe have a better impact
Mhm.
as far as reaching more individuals that maybe even missed. There may be something out there
Right.
of another organization that's in town that helps people that we may not be aware of just yet. And we can find out the little nooks and crannies.
Good.
So that's why I'd like to
I'd like to-
volunteer to do this.
Omar, any questions? We're working on a Helping Hand Society. How does
I'm in
that
the,
kind of differ?
Yeah.
I just,
Well, how would it
quick
differ?
aside, and
Well,
if you have 1
in
minute.
some ways, it's very similar. We do have an endowment, is that what that we deal with, and we bring up individual. There was actually I learned something this year. I wanted to look into funding an organization that really wasn't. They didn't even have their feet on the ground yet, and it would have been more seed money for an organization. But what the Helping Hand does more is for existing organizations that have some history. So, yeah. So it is very, very similar, but I think it's a way to cast a broader net around the community
Right.
that may need assistance.
I think
And
you do
obviously-
a great job on the committee as far as I'm
Yeah, and
concerned.
obviously the this charity funds is like peanuts compared
Yeah.
Compared to the Helping Hand.
Helping Hand. I mean, we don't have that much money because it's just interest, and you know what interest rates are like.
Right,
So,
yeah. But nonetheless, an important job. I would entertain a motion for Eileen, and if, I don't have any questions about Gail. I've known her for a very long time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had any thoughts on that, but I'd
We can
entertain
do both at the same time.
a motion for both if you'd like.
Yeah. So move.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Easy. Ah,
Yeah.
okay, good, thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Good to see you again. Let's see,
Are you all set with me?
we're all set.
Yes.
Okay.
God, we will recommend that you be appointed.
Okay.
So
Well,
that's
thank
it,
you.
yeah.
Very nice to meet you.
Thanks for stopping in.
Bye.
Aye.
Samantha,
Yes.
the Cemetery Commission.
Yep.
Yes. Tell me more, what?
Well, I already run two
Stimulated the
cemeteries in town,
Okay.
so I get a lot of calls from Main Street and never have answers for them, and it'd be really handy to be able to help people that are
Uh-huh.
calling, especially when they're distressed
Right.
or looking for plots. To have kind of like more of a database for another cemetery in town would be really helpful, I think, to people looking for answers.
Right, and you'd have that information.
We don't have that. I don't.
You would be able
yeah.
to reach out and be.
And to have like a localized number, like through a city department, that where I could answer
Right.
questions for that would be
Right,
amazing. Yeah.
that would be cool. I don't have any further questions.
I also have this just for
Oh, you have
that's from a compliment from the other day.
Oh, wow.
What was it?
Oh, well, this is exciting.
You know,
This is great. Well, professionalism, cheerfulness, respect, clients they deal with. Wow, and this is from somebody in Easthampton. So
I know, right?
this is great. It's very, very, they both clearly love their jobs. I understand. They're both longtime employees. Thanks for listening. Pass along my compliments.
Yeah.
Consider them passed along.
Yes.
For the file.
It's actually a compliment, so complaining about something for once. You know?
That's good.
It's nice to have.
I don't have any question.
We'll entertain a motion.
And I'll make a motion for Samantha Pliska
Let's go. Yep.
Please, that's how you pronounce
to
it.
be Main Street Cemetery Commissioner, expiration term December 31st, 2022.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Good. Thank you.
All right.
We will recommend
Okay.
this evening. Thanks for sharing.
So I don't know what's the next.
Will you receive a notice either from the clerk or the mayor
Okay.
of
Yeah.
the appointment? Yeah.
Okay.
If you watch
I
the
mean, we're going to recommend the appointment to the full city council.
Right.
full city council
That's
tonight.
going to happen at 6 something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The meeting starts 6. And usually they follow the recommendation of the committee, so,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Right, and then at some point later, the Barb will give you a call, or the mayor
Yeah.
will, or send you a notice, and then.
Yeah,
you
it'd be
know,
nice to
out
be able to consolidate everything.
That would be very good.
Yeah.
And thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yes, I'll see you.
I'll see you soon.
Have a good night.
Bye, you too.
Lindsay, how do you pronounce your name?
Lindsay Alterkin.
Alterkin. Just like it, I was going to do that. I
Okay.
really was.
It's a made-up name, so there's no precedent.
There's no precedent? Oh, okay,
No.
cool. We saved you for last because this is the tough one. You've got
Oh,
a
yeah?
very, zoning board of appeals. What do you bring to this? Tell us, please.
Sure. Well, I'm a new resident. I've actually, today is a year since I closed on my condo on East Street.
Congratulations.
And I am interested in being involved in a way that will have an impact. And I feel like if something gets to the zoning board of appeals, there's clearly some issue that hasn't been addressed before. And I plan, even though I'm a new resident, I plan on living here for a long time. And I care about Easthampton is changing and I care about the direction it's going. And I want to be involved that way.
What do you see as a direction, if I may ask?
I see more, I think it seems like an expansion of what's already here, just more restaurants, more places, more of a homogeneous downtown. At least from my feeling is it's a fairly separate, like there's 3 parts to the downtown area. To me, they don't feel like they go together so much. So just a more cohesive downtown. And
That's interesting.
yeah. So I'm interested in all different areas of the town and
Good.
seeing where it goes. And I know I haven't lived here before, but I'm from New York.
From New York.
From New York. But my wife went to grad school at Smith.
Okay, so
So
she'd been in the area.
Yes.
You hadn't been.
I hadn't been until I came on the
Yeah.
first weekend I went to visit. And I loved it.
And then you ended up here.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, well, my wife got a job at UMass Amherst.
Cool.
So that's why.
Zoning board, have you been able to attend any of the meetings or
No.
watch any of them?
I haven't been able to, but I did review some applications online that people had submitted in the past, and that's
Sometimes it can get very, very,
heated.
well, heated, but heated as well as complicated. It just very important issues, very, folks on all sides of the issue are very much committed, but there's certain precedents that you will review.
So, I'm an attorney for.
You are, see, I didn't disclose that.
Yeah. Well,
So what do you do for, what kind of law do you practice?
Civil defense.
Civil defense.
Yeah.
Okay. Little different from zoning, but.
Yeah, different.
But it's still, you know, very
I
much.
personally feel like if I went to law school and I can't graduate and read a statute and come up with an opinion, then like I shouldn't have graduated.
It's nice to have people grounded in being average everyday citizens and to have some legal training.
Yeah, I'm a
on the
rules-based
zoning board.
person.
Yeah.
You know, so I would go to see what happened, look up for similar situations in the past and try to apply that to the facts now.
You'll have fun with this one.
Yeah, well, that's also partly why I wanted to be on the zoning board, is because, you know, I'm interested in other, serving in other committees, but this one I feel like I can use my knowledge
It's a great start.
to be involved, so.
Yeah, I don't have any other questions.
Okay,
I may think of something.
that's okay, you can always email me.
Omar, your thoughts? Yeah, I think you presented yourself very well. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you for being
I think
here.
it'd be a great addition to
thank you.
ZBA.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think that there's a lot of issues, with zoning in this area that could come up, especially as things are changing.
Yes.
So,
Good.
yeah,
Very good.
I'm excited.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
I will entertain a motion.
I will make a
Oh,
motion
sorry.
to accept Lindsay Undercurrent for the zoning board of appeal for the expiration term December 31st, 2022.
Second? In favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
We will make the recommendation.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
We will be hearing that.
Oh, good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
So, they did tell you this is often night work.
Oh, yeah, well, the thing is, I work actually remotely, so
Oh,
I'm
so
pretty
that's
flexible.
flexible. Good, yeah.
So, yeah.
Good, thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
We have Jason.
Yeah, we still have Jason around.
We're actually looking for more information, if I recall. I'm not sure if Bill had been able to reach out to Jason or not.
No, I know he sent an
I know he's been
email.
very busy.
And I know
work.
he sent an email to Councilor Peak, and I don't know if he received anything because Councilor Peak is sick.
Yeah. I will entertain a motion based on Councilor Peak's previous statement at the last council meeting about Jason and Jason's previous work. And
Yep.
we are trying to change over the committee but it's where I still think we're in a transition period, so I will second the motion.
Okay, make a motion to accept Jason Miranda for Telecommunication Advisory Committee, expiration term.
2022, December 31, yes. It says,
Oh, December 31st, 2022.
yeah,
Yeah.
I believe, yeah.
It is. Yeah, I got that agenda here. Yeah.
In favor?
Aye.
Approved, all right. I will entertain a motion to adjourn, if there's no other business.
Motion to adjourn.
Second, so approved. And this concludes the appointments up to February 19, 2020.